Unboxing the PageBlaster from APH.
All right, we're going to be unboxing the APH PageBlaster embosser. So we already have the ties cut off because that's kind of the long part. And so there's actually 4 plastic ties go across the top of the box and go underneath. So those on this box are already cut off. When you cut the ties off, you can actually just grab the top of the box. No. Set that aside. All right, so here's the embosser in all its glory with its... We have the embosser sitting on top of all of its equipment with its documentation. We'll just push the documentation out, bring that out. There you go. So this is all of your samples with print that I'm dropping and braille samples. There's styrofoam on each end of this embosser. So this actually is 2 pieces per side. So we're gonna take off the top pieces. 1 and 2, just gonna lift up. So then we can grab, the embosser has cutouts on each end. So we're gonna grab the embosser, left and right side, lift. So inside the box is another box. There we go. So the box opens from the front and there's tabs. So then you just squeeze them out and lift up. There we go. So in here we have the charging supply. This is important right here. This is the USB driver for your software. So this houses all the software for Windows and Mac operating systems, and also the printer drivers. So right away you'll notice we have a couple different heavy duty extension cords. This is because this is the extension cord that goes from the outlet to the power supply that's in the box down here. And you have to pick out the one that you need for your country. We are in the United States, so we're gonna pick this one right here. We're gonna sit down. So in here, we have they're actually sealed, so you gotta cut to show your finger. Well, so this is really cool. This is actually a USB to USB female. So you can actually use this as a USB extender if you have to set this embosser further away from the computer than your standard USB to embosser cable allow. Let's take a look at this power supply in here. So pull that back, click this, flip those up, the tabs on each side. There you go. And you got a big brick in here. This is your power supply. So this goes from the embosser, and then the extension cord that we picked out goes into that end right there. This embosser does take a lot of energy, which is why you have such a big inverter. This is called an inverter. And then this end goes into an embosser, and it actually moves back and forward. So when you plug it in, you want to scoot it back, and then you plug it in, let it go forward, and it'll go into the machine. And the reason it does that is because there's a locking tab. Now, one last thing for this embosser. Remember that we have a locking pin. So you're gonna come to the back left of the embosser. I'm holding it here in my hand, in my arm. And you're gonna come from the bottom. This is my left hand, so you're gonna come from the bottom, push from left to right. There you go. You're gonna grab it and pull it straight out. There we go. This is your transport pin. It has to be put back in when you're ready to transport it somewhere else. But when you're setting it up, you want to make sure you pull this out and store it on the right hand back of the embosser. There's tabs back here. You just slide them in, and there you go. It stores right there.
So Eli, let's say I'm just moving the embosser from one room to another or one school to my car. Do I want to put that pin in?
Definitely, because what it does is there's a print head in here like the Perkins Brailler, except this is free floating. So if I tilt this way or this way, left or right, that print head is going to go left or right and slant into the edges and possibly damage the print head, the embossing head.
And can you show real quick how to put that pin in? Like, does it screw or does it just push in?
So you pull this out. We can find the tether pad right there. Let's scoot that in there. There we go. Now wait till it sinks all the way in, and you want it kind of touching the plastic, or I guess aluminum back here. And then you're gonna put your thumb at the top and swing it down, so it locks into that tab right there on the bottom left. And that's it.
Then it's ready to move.
It's ready to move. Okay, so these power cables, there's only one way this goes in. So if you look at these power cables, it is cut with 3 little slits in this. So it has one at the top and then 2 kind of down towards the bottom if you're looking at it like this.
Okay.
So if you look at this now, this power supply, you kind of want to match the same thing. So if I know that this is cut at the top, all right up there, I'm going to do the same thing here and then just marry them together. There we go. Now you can plug it in, this end into the wall, this end into your embosser right there. So in the back of the embosser, we have our locking pin, transport pin, and then we have USB port, and then this is just a plug for your Ethernet cable if you want to connect this to internet. Put that back in. And then this is the plug for the computer to embosser cable. And this is your Wi-Fi antenna. And then if you come this way, right here, the circular piece right in the middle of the embosser is where your power supply gets plugged into. And kind of want to line this up so that your thumb is resting on the flat part up. Dunk, insert, let go. There we go. Then you just take this, go lick some more out. There we go.
Great.
Then you just come here, plug in. Do you hear that click?
Okay. And then I see there's another USB port on this, on the back of this embosser.
Yep.
What's that for?
That's if you want to update your firmware over a USB, or if you want to emboss from a USB, you can just walk directly up to the embosser, plug in USB, and emboss from there.
Oh, you mean like a flash drive, or?
Flash drive.
So you could save a file on the flash drive and plug it in here and emboss?
Correct.
Okay, and I'm assuming that you would get to that file by navigating the menu system on the embosser itself?
Correct. Oh yeah, here's another piece. It's up in the front of the embosser. When we open this up, there's a bean bag right here. And that's kind of a protector for this paper sensor. So you want to get that removed. You'll find it as soon as you open it up.
Is that something we need to keep and put back in when we travel with the embosser?
No. Okay. No, this is kind of more for storage. This is like it's full of the beads that keep moisture away.
Okay, so do we throw that out or keep it?
You can throw that out.
Throw it out, okay.
So along all these buttons here, they're all labeled with Braille. So we got offline, online. So this is to turn it off, press and hold, turn it on, press and hold. And then you have your feed button, which controls the feeding of the paper. And then we have the menu button, takes you to the menus. And then this is the help button. So if you press that, it's going to give you a lot of information, just a heads up, and there's no way to make it stop talking. And then we have your directional arrows getting through the menus, and the OK button in the center. And then we have the channels. So this is kind of to access things like different layouts that are pre-programmed in. And then your channel up and down, again, to access different layouts that are programmed in. And that's it. So to feed the paper, you open this up, the front, and then you have these locking ears here, left and right. So you flip this up, flip this one up. So they flip from the center out. And then inside of these little ears, there's 4 pins. So you're gonna take your tractor feed paper and line it up both top left and right corners at the top left and right pins, and the rest should fall in line. Now, what you will have to do is adjust for paper size. So this left side holder does not move, but the right side does. And if we look right here, my fingers, there's a little lever that sticks out. So you put your thumb on the bottom.
Is that the one along the bottom right edge?
Yes,
of the right
that's right.
paper hole holder?
Mhm. On the outside edge, closest to the edge, the right edge of the embosser. Put your finger into that and press up. There you go. You can hear it unlock. Then you can move it back and forth. Now, when you find your paper size, you want it to be taut. So when you find it, you're just going to grab this pin again and push down. Locks in. There you go. So we're going to start, always line up with the left side first, just because this is a stationary one. So put the topmost pin. Falls into place. Moves it up. And up. See how you need. You can already tell if you lay the paper across the top, right, it's covering, it goes over the outside edge of the right one. So you already know you're going to have to adjust it. So lift the paper up. Bring this lever up. Now bring it out. See, the paper almost wants to fall in line, so you're going to open this ear up and line up the top right corner. It doesn't quite do it, right? So we're going to push in a little bit. Find that pin. There we go. Then you're going to close it. Now you want the paper to be a little tight, because if it's like this bowed, it's going to try to feed and run into that right there. It's going to give you a paper jam. It's going to run into the top of the lid. So you want to pull, there we go. So it's nice and taut. Now you're going to lock down this lever right here. Again, bottom right, push it towards the front. There we go, locks in. And now you're ready to feed. Cover down, power on. If it's already powered on, you can hit the feed button. Or you can even just start making your first emboss document, and it'll line itself up. Another tip here is on the sides of this embosser, you want to make sure you don't have this like in a super tight cubby, because this is an intake. On the left side, there's some like an oval shaped port towards the front left. And then on the front right, this edge is actually exhaust. So that's where the air gets blown out of, which is what cools the whole assembly inside. There's a fan in there that brings air from left to right to cool everything down.
The CAT program is funded by a federal appropriation and works in partnership with the American Printing House for the Blind and Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind. Logos: APH, AIDB, and WSSB.
CATT, Center for Assistive Technology Training Northwest.